Hello and welcome to this video tutorial on how to use the Lister software program for contents. I'm going to show you how to complete a content listing using the Lister program on an Apple device such as an iPhone, iPod, or iPad. I'm also going to give you helpful tips on creating an accurate and detailed listing. You already should have the app, but if you don't, we'll spend a few minutes showing you how to set up the app. First, go to the App Store. You would type in ListerMobile. Do not put any spaces in the words, simply ListerMobile, one word. You will see our app and click on Open and Download. For users of iPad or iPad mini, you will have to change the search criteria to include iPhone only. If you don't see it, you have not set this setting. Please ensure that you click iPhone only as indicated. Once you have the app, it will appear as displayed. In this example, I've shown my iPhone 6. Simply click on the app and it will open. The app will open to the main screen as shown. You should already have your settings placed with your username and password. If you have not, please click on the settings button as indicated. You would then click on the account to open the account screen. Once the account screen opens, you will need to enter your account ID and password. The account ID is the same as your username. Please go slowly and ensure accuracy. Once you have both filled in, click Login. At that point, you're going to get two results. In the next screen, I've showed you a good result. You see the green arrow. This indicates I have a proper username and password. If you get an error, likely you've typed in incorrectly, but perhaps you actually forwarded the wrong username and password. Try again. If you still get a fail, you will likely have to contact your system administrator to see if there was an error in providing you with the accurate information. Once you're logged on, you would click Home, and this will take you to the home screen. We'll spend just a quick moment here. The first you will see is the New Listings button. Click that for new listings. We'll return and show you how to do that. The All Listing buttons will show you all of the listings on your app. You see at the bottom it shows you the most recent listings. I like this feature. Often you don't finish your listing and you're required to leave and then return. This will help you to quickly find and navigate to your most recent listings. So once you've clicked the new listing buttons, you're going to get the detail screen. We're just going to spend a few minutes here on the fast track screen. If you are a Code Blue user and you send listings to them for pricing, there are times when you may want to use the fast track. This is good for claims of under 30 items, and you would click the green radio button as indicated. Next you would fill in the email and phone cells. Please ensure that you use an email and cell phone where the people at Code Blue can contact you directly in case they need some extra information to help with the pricing. You would continue on filling in the information on the Details tab. We'll fill in the information of reference number. This should be the claims number for your client. The name should be the name of the insured. Typically it's a person. If it's a business, you could put the business name as well as the contact for the business. The description is left wide open. In this example, I've put content listing. Perhaps you're just going to do the kitchen. You could put the description as kitchen, or perhaps you're putting the type of loss. It's a sewer backup. Below that we see the date of loss. Fill in the correct date of loss for your listing. Once this basic information is completed, you're ready to start your listing. You would then click on the item icon as seen in the lower right hand side. This is going to take you to the first item. We see at the top the item number 1. This number is generated by the system. The system will continue to generate items as you add subsequent items. Let's spend a bit of time here on the first item. The first field you see is quantity. The system to default is 1. You can add multiple items if you're going to deal with perhaps the sock drawer. Next we see description. I've entered in phone. Because the photographs are going to attach directly to each item, we strongly recommend that a short description is better. Again, the photographs are going to attach directly, so you don't need a lengthy description. The short descriptions will help you with a quicker and more accurate listing. Below that we see model number. In this case it's a phone, so I've put the make and a model. This will help with you to get a more accurate replacement cost price. So please ensure where you're able to secure model information that you do so. Below that we see price. This is left blank. The price could be the price that the insured tells you they paid. Perhaps you're negotiating a price out on the loss location with the insured, or you can leave that blank and a replacement price can be added later. It can be added here on your app, or it can be also added onto the website. The next cell we see is the extended cell. This is where you would have multiple quantities. As an example, if I had 24 and the price was $10, the extended price would be $240. Next we have an age cell. In this example I've got 1, which equals 1 year. If it was 1.5 years, it would be 1.5. So you can put percentages in here in decimal places. Below that we see the tag number and box number. These are used for the restoration contractors. The adjusters are not required to fill these out. For location, in this example we're in the office. This could be the kitchen or any other room. The status, there are a number of default statuses in the program. When you click on there you will see them. Typically as adjusters you're going to be dealing with the non-repairable items. Below that is photographs. In this case there are no photographs in this item, so it shows 0. So how do we take photographs? As indicated here, we would click on the camera icon, and then this is going to open up the camera setting on your device. You see here that I indicate you should take at least 2 pictures. We always say let the pictures tell the story. We all know that a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is particularly true with our program. When you take the first picture, it should be of the complete item. Follow-up pictures can show model numbers, pre-existing conditions, or anything else that you would like to further display and describe for the item. So how do those pictures look? I've shown an example here of the very first photograph I took in the office of the phone. You can see where I've stood back a short distance. I've taken a picture of the whole phone, showing where it is on the desk. So what I did for the second picture is I moved in closer and I tried to show, and it showed up both the make and model here. So we can see it's a Samsung, and we get to see the model number. As we all know, this will help ensure with an accurate description so we can get a good replacement cost as well as the actual cash value of this item. So how do we know the pictures were taken? I've shown here that we see below that there are now 2 photographs attached to the item. We click on there and they display. How will you see them? In the 2 previous screenshots I showed, remember how we were reviewing the pictures of the phone and then the close-up? So when you would click here, they would show the pictures as displayed. Next, after the item is complete, it gets sent up automatically to the web. On the screenshot on the right, you'll see it says 2 photographs with a green arrow. This green arrow tells me that the item is being completed and sent to the web. Now that we've completed listing the first item, the phone, we're ready to list the next item. We can click on a number of places depending on which screen you are at. I've showed 2 screenshots. Both of these show the top right hand side a plus icon. Simply click there and that will take you to your next listing. In this example, it would take us to item number 2. Again, the system will generate the numbers. We don't have to number them. So, can you report from the device? Absolutely. To do this, you can do it on site, and this is of great benefit. You can send it to the adjuster, or perhaps you can send it to the homeowner. So from the item that you're listing, you would go on the actual listing and you would click on the lower left hand side on the details icon. This will then bring you to the details field. At this point you would go about halfway down and you can see where I've highlighted and with the red circle the CSV export items. CSV stands for comma separated value. Basically this is going to put it into an Excel file. So once we click on the CSV export items, this is going to bring up the following screen. We would enter in the email address of the person you want to send it to. Again, as I talked about earlier, it could be the company adjuster, it could be the property owner. You would then hit the send button. You can see below at the bottom where I've indicated where the actual Excel report is. Again, it's simply a comma separated value. This will not export the photographs, so you can send this from any location and you don't have to worry about the size being too large. So here are some helpful hints and lessons that we've learned. We've been using this in the field for about 3 years now. The first word of advice is set up a workstation, work in one direction. This is really beneficial and will help ensure that you don't miss any items. Once you're in that room, pick a clean, flat surface like a table, a counter, or a bed. Set the items on the surface. This will help you with taking the pictures. Start at one point in the room, work in one direction, clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't matter. And list each item as you get to them, set them on the bed or the counter, take them, and then return them. Here's another hint. Start with the biggest items. You'd be surprised how often you'll go into that bedroom, set all the items on the bed, and then leave, and you won't have taken a picture of the bed. This has happened in the past, so again, take those big items. Don't forget about them. Next, let's deal with multiple items. We've all dealt with the sock drawer or tools. In this example, if you got a large toolkit, I've pulled out the 25 screwdrivers, I've laid them on the flat surface. I typically would go left to right. I will take 4 or 5 pictures. What I'm trying to do is get 4 or 5 of the screwdrivers in each pictures. I want to get close enough where I can see if there's a make. I want to show that. I also want to show the condition of these screwdrivers. Are they new? Are they in great shape? Or are they old? Was there pre-existing damages? Again, if I take 4 or 5 pictures, I can get the close-ups that I need to show the details. If you recall earlier on, short descriptions. I had phone. I didn't put telephone. You don't need long descriptions. The picture is going to tell the story. Also, use more generic descriptions. In this case, camping supplies. You could do camping supplies. You could put the quantity at 25, take 5 pictures, and you can list a whole bunch of camping supplies. This will be faster than having the sleeping bag and the small cook stove and all those other items. So you can group them with shorter descriptions, and then this way you'll get out quicker and you'll still have a really good description of the items because the photographs are going to attach. Take the first picture of the whole item. We talked about that earlier, and I want to really re-emphasize this. When you do the export report from the web, the very first picture is going to show up as a thumbnail. So the very first picture I took was a crack at the table. When I send that report, it's going to be very confusing because it's just going to be a close-up of a crack. Let the first picture be of the whole item and then move in on your close-ups. Don't be worried about taking too many pictures. We've got the program set so each picture will be about 60K. So that's 60 kilobyte or 60,000 bytes. That's not very big. With a typical plan, you can get about 12,000 photographs in a month before you'd have to worry about your data plan. So don't worry about taking too many pictures. They will be small on this app. Another suggestion, we've got work room by room. Don't jump from the bedroom into the bathroom and then go downstairs. Sometimes you're out on the lost location and you get pushed and pulled by the property owner. Try to resist that. Leave the room, talk to them about the other item, come back, do it very systematically. I can't overemphasize this enough. Get a system, use the system, stick with it, or you will miss items. You might even miss a room. Never leave that room until you've listed all the items. Again, if you're following that circle we talked about earlier, this will really help you. Let's talk a bit about what happens when your device powers down. As we all know, that's very frustrating. If you're out doing a content listing, this will not help. You can close the other apps. This will give you a longer battery life. You can work in airplane mode. The downside of that is the items are not going to get uploaded. So if at the end of the day you drop your phone from the second floor and it's smashed and then fell in the pond, all of your information is going to be lost. So you can do that, but there is a downside risk. The next point, you see the battery pack. I have one of these. I love it. It's great. They're very small. You can leave them in your briefcase. You can leave them in your car. I got an example here of one of the products that seems to be more popular. They're relatively inexpensive. You should always have these. They'll last a long time. The other advice we have is you can power up when you're on site. You can have a power cord and tap right into the AC in the home or the business if you want. You can also charge using the AC at the home or the business. I like to do it in my car. I find that my car charger seems to charge much quicker. Again, we don't want to run out of power when you're doing the listing, and if you don't have other options, you're going to have to leave and return another day. So again, let's just do a quick overview. Accuracy first, speed second. It's really important to get your system down, get that first picture of the whole item, capture the other photographs that will complete the story of that item. Did it have pre-existing damages or not? Can you get a serial number? Take the first picture of the whole item. Again, we've talked about this before. Don't be afraid to take 4 or 5 pictures. If it's an expensive rug, take lots of pictures. Take pictures of labels and price tags. You'd be surprised. I think we all know if you pick up a clock, there may be a price underneath it. Often the insureds are giving us boxes so we can capture the model and serial number on there. Flip around, you'll probably find a price tag that will really help you out with what the original price paid was. Last suggestion here, consider starting your listing after the restoration contractor has removed all the restorable items. Sounds simple, but this will really help you out, because when you enter, there's nothing to ignore. You don't have to worry about the items. Which items is the restoration contractor actually going to clean? You're going to know the items that are going to form the basis of your content listing. So if you have any questions about our software program, email us at the email address indicated, or give us a phone call on our toll-free number. And don't forget to call us if you have any other questions. And thank you for taking your time to watch this video.